So here's one more thing to consider when you think you and your co-parent are heading towards a separation and a divorce. If your in-laws have a lot of money, if there's any part of them that tends to be controlling, that tends to insist on having things exactly their way, and if there is any indication that they want to relive experiences with their own parenting by parenting your children, be aware that anything you do to offend them, upset them, or leave them out of the process could be the thing that puts you out there as public enemy number one as far as they're concerned. This is something that happens a lot. You and your co-parent might be having your issues, but you might feel as if you can pretty much work things out and get along. But if you catch whiff of the possibility that the in-laws want to have time with your children, and they have the resources, and they're of such an inclination that they might do whatever they have to gain access and control to your children, consider the possibility that things they are saying to you, which you might think are in good faith, in the best interests of the children, a clear path forward for us all to work together and get along. Just be careful and know that any mistakes you make with them, any things you put into writing that upsets them, or any promises that they might make to you, especially if they are verbal and not in writing, could all be a setup. A setup to make you look like a terrible parent, to make it look like you are abusive, a committer of domestic violence, so that way they can have a leg up when it comes to the custody of your children. It's often not your co-parent that is the biggest worry for you. It's often the in-laws, because usually they're the ones with the money who are pulling the strings. Not usually, but often. That's the way it is. I know many cases where people even considered moving into the in-laws' home for a while, knowing that they were going to separate, or with the intention of working things out, and lo and behold, within hours of arrival, they realized very quickly that the intention of the in-laws is to completely erase you as a parent and replace you as a parent at the earliest opportunity. I'm not telling you that people are going to behave that way in every scenario, but I am saying I've seen many, many scenarios where that's been the case. It's better to know that these things do happen ahead of time, even from people who you might believe are incapable of these types of behaviors. Consider that maybe they are, and also consider looking at past history, maybe with other children of theirs, or maybe with other relationships that they themselves were in, even if it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. What happened then? What were the things that led to those separations, and how did each of the people in those scenarios behave? That might be a clue to you as to what might be going on right now. Be careful, move strategically, and don't automatically assume that everyone who says nice things to you is really going to be on your side.